we go. So, welcome to Scott's Case Files channel. This is session 6 of our Blades in the Dark adventure, Cult of Tides. So, now we're actually over halfway through. Can you believe it? Here we are. Who thought we'd get this far, right? Me. So, yes. So, yeah.
I didn't realize there was a reason to doubt, so.
No, there was doubts. Everybody's everybody craps out before game 3 or whatever. I'm like, no.
I was gonna say, I thought that only happened with play-by posts.
Now I've been in mini games. I've been in like 3 or 4 D&D games that basically dissolved after like 3 games.
That
I was in
sucks.
one that had that, but that was more due to the GM's computer died midway through, so that caused a long enough gap that times no longer synced up. Too bad. That was actually a pretty fun game.
Well, here we are. Against all odds.
Not your game, Scott.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for saying that one, Steve. No one else did. 1 XP. No, we don't play that game. So. No, okay, excellent. So we had a pretty action-packed game last session. It was pretty freaking cool. Everybody got a little piece of the action. Some got a little more of the action than they expected, which is all right. That's what the game's all about. So let's see, where does that leave us? So yes, so we did we completed the basically get all the other cultists high on rage serum plan went off without a hitch. And last we left them, there was a whole bunch of groggy waking up other cultists suddenly really angry about something, and it's not just a hangry type of angry. We're talking like rage type of angry. So yeah, I also imagine as you guys retreated, your cohort might have gone in to like just be innocent bystanders, walking by to accidentally get attacked perhaps by these ruffians and have to defend themselves, and things happen. So no fault of yours or theirs, really.
I was gonna say, if things had gone worse, I was gonna flashback, meeting with the blue coats to set them up to show up.
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. Cool. Yeah, so it went really well. Again, we did at least a flashback, and I hope you guys are understanding more what that's all about. Yeah, so let's jump straight into stuff. We did personal XP. Let's do
Now.
Yeah.
I did the personal XP, but now playbook advancement is filled up. So is that part of that I get to decide what to do with that?
Yes, if you filled up your playbook advancement, you get a new playbook special ability.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I was gonna thought I'd pick ambush. When you attack from hiding or spring a trap, you get +1 die throw. Is that right?
Yeah. Also, you can pick a special ability from any of the playbooks you want. It's not just your own playbook.
Sure. That's what that veteran is down on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Special, yeah. I didn't look at the others, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, isn't it your own? Don't you have to go for your own for so many before you graduate to the ability to get others?
Nope. It's free. You can choose it right from the beginning.
Well,
cool. Ambush.
Part of
their seems like a good choice. So
yeah, of course. Oh yeah, no. It's just it's part of like the focus on they don't really want to be rigid class structure. They want to be free flowing. So you can. It's pretty easy to grab veterans advancements.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Well, cool. Mark that on your sheet then.
Now I remove all the red marks from
correct
playbook advancement, right?
That is correct. You start from scratch again.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So again, jumping in. Let's see here. Let's bring up the crew sheet real quick. There you go. Okay. All right. So let's see here. So crew specific XP trigger. Did you like advance the needs of your deity or cult, your group, that type of thing?
I believe so.
I
Yeah,
believe
Exists.
quite a
so.
bit. We got some new turf.
Yeah, in fact, I'll mark your sanctuary right now. That's marked. So good job. I'm willing to call that a 2. I mean, you not only kind of cleared out a rival cult, but you acquired actual cult turf. Not just turf, but actual, cult type turf. So let's call that 2 for kicks. Sounds reasonable. Did we
Yeah.
do we contend with challenges above the current station? No, definitely not. I would say no.
No.
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one.
I mean, we did just take someone else's space.
Yeah.
And I think we did it both serene and ferociously. Like, we didn't actually hurt anyone. But at the same time, the kind of, maybe the brutality of it would spread.
Cool. Okay. You guys think 1 is good for that?
Sure.
All right, let's call 1.
Yeah.
Express goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew.
Yeah, that one's hard because we haven't really talked about what that means much.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's something to kind of work out.
Maybe. I mean, we as a crew have grown our. I'd say because we chose this claim to grow in power, over just like grow as a cult, grow as our own, rather than gaining issue and favor with someone else. So it could be, and we chose to do that. That could be a 1. We're showing that we are choosing to advance ourselves in the cult. The cult comes first.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I'm willing to go with that. So let's call
I'll buy
that. Let's call it 1. So that's looks like it's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cool. All right. Awesome. All right. So crew advancement done. So so now let's go and figure out all our downtime goodies. Actually, hold on.
Hey.
Go down. Give me a sec. Yes. All right. All right. So yeah. So let's kind of transition into downtime. So first off is
No rep or coin.
that's part of downtime.
Oh.
Please do not get ahead
I
of me,
thought
Breaker.
payoff. Oh, I thought payoff happened before downtime.
It's all downtime. It starts off downtime. It's payoff,
okay.
heat, entanglements, downtime activities. It's back off, Breaker. Back off, Neocrete. All right. So payoff. Let's see here. So again, you guys are always just kind of being reimbursed by your patrons for what you do, and you just basically got a new piece of turf. I'm willing to call that a big score. We'll call that 8 coin. So however you guys choose to join that up, but also you are about to get some rep. So let's see if we go over that. So yeah, you earn 2 rep by default. Target is higher than you, take +1, which they are not. They're not lower. You guys are pretty much even tier. So 2. So yeah, you guys just now max out your what do you call it? Rep, thank you. Okay. So at this point, we can use some of the coin you just made plus whatever. Let's see. Actually, I think it's just whatever coin you made to advance your tier.
Yeah, we just plow the coin we got into advancing our tier.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I'm behind that.
Okay, and I believe it is like
That costs what, 8 coin?
I believe it is
It's
8 coin.
Yeah.
Let me just double
Yeah,
check.
I think that's worth it.
Yeah, to go up a tier is pretty huge.
So that means all of our gear is better, and we've leveled up.
Gotcha.
Everything about us is better now.
Almost.
And we all get stash too.
Yep, we're getting stash. So let's see here.
Where does it Where does it say that we get stash?
That's on the crew sheet, just below coin and vaults. Upon crew advance, each PC gets stash equal to tier +2.
That's a crew
That's
advance. That's like
that's
when
when our
you,
crew levels up, not when we tier up.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
yeah, you lose money. So yeah, okay. So if everyone's cool, we'll put that 8 coins straight into tiering you
Oh,
up.
I see what you mean.
But we had gotten a crew advance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you already
so-
have
we,
had.
we should have taken that. Okay.
Oh yeah,
didn't-
I
never
guess we
put that
should
in my
apply that.
stash.
I'm sure
Retroactive.
I could swear you guys did before when we did do
I
the
didn't
crew
realize
advance.
that.
I never wrote it down for
No, me either. I
Yeah,
missed
Yeah,
that
you
one.
should have 2 coins in your stash.
right.
Unless you spent from last time.
No.
Now, if our crew levels up, we'll get 3 coins in our stash per crew level.
Right. So I'm gonna tier you up, remove all your rep, and now you're actually at weak hold instead of strong. So you're in a kind of precarious situation as you move up tier. It's mostly good, a little bad, and basically next time you rep up, you can bring it from weak to strong in the same tier.
Yeah.
So.
And
Cool. All right, so we're good with that. So rep is good, coin is good, the payoff. Let's see, heat. Let's see here. I'm gonna call this contained, definitely. I mean, you were seen. There was some violence that happened, even if you weren't part of it. But things definitely got out of hand, and people, again, nothing is completely secret in Duskfall. So I'm thinking I'm going to give you guys, let's see, 2 heat. It was not high profile. It technically wasn't hostile turf, at least I'm not calling it such. You're not at war with the faction. No killing was involved, at least, and certainly none that you were directly involved in. So we're going to pop 2 heat on your sheet. So that brings you up to a grand total of 4 heat, for the record. All right. Let's see here. All right, entanglements. 0 to 4. Let's see. Heat is 4, so 4 to 5. So who wants to roll a fortune die? Let's see here. Based on your wanted level, so it's 2 die. We take the lowest.
I can roll.
Okay, go ahead. Ooh, 1. All right. Gain
Better than
trouble.
6.
Yeah, 1 to 6. Good to go either way. All right, but in this case, it is a 1, which is what we want. So gang trouble or questioning. We did questioning last time, so let's look at what gang trouble is. So one of your gangs or other cohorts causes trouble, just fucking brand new cohorts, causes trouble due to their flaws, which we haven't actually figured out yet. You lose face, forfeit rep equal to your tier +1. Make an example of one of the gang members or face reprisals from the wrong party. So I don't think you really can go down with this. So I'm not going to subtract any rep, but there can be some reprisals if, like, you don't make a statement with one of your cohorts. So we'll get to a scene in pre-play when that happens, if you choose to go that way, or there will be some kind of future reprisal from somebody. All right. So now, as promised, we are now to downtime activities. So I figure we'll do kind of as we usually have, kind of go round robin. Let's see here.
There.
All right, let's start with Steve. What's your first item?
The first item is visiting a physiker. I have a 2 and 2 1s right now. I'm kind of injured.
Yes, definitely need some help.
And I guess for that, do I need
Yeah.
any money for that? Because I do not have any money.
yeah.
Let's see here. So when
No,
you
it's
recover,
just-
you seek treatment, etc. So technically, you guys have a physiker friend, so that is
Right, it's the cutter's friend, right?
I think so. Is
Or
that
breaker's.
correct, Nuki?
Yes. Sawtooth is a physiker.
Okay. So if your friend is good with helping, then it won't cost you anything, unless
Okay.
you want to expend further rolls and that kind of thing.
I have no cash, so
All right.
and
So
that's just a fortune roll.
yeah, it's gonna be a fortune roll. Once you let's see here. Let's call Sawtooth at this point is at your level. You're tier 1. This is where it kind of helps to pay off.
Okay.
So let's see, and technically it is a helper, so like a friend or whatever helping you with this. So that's +1. So roll 2 fortune die. And let's see how you do.
A4.
Let's see, 4, 2 segments.
I will take them.
All right.
Yeah, Junker will probably say she feels bad that you when she blew up the glass. It kind of cut up your face, so she'll pay for you to get another roll on the medical stuff.
Oh, for an extra downtime action?
Yeah.
Okay. I greatly appreciate that. It's the least of my injuries, but I'm still recovering from being beaten up by the blue coats.
Yes.
In
This is
section
true.
2 or 3, I think.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead and let's get that out of the way here, since this
Yeah,
is
let me roll
extra.
the same fortune again. And that is enough to put me over.
Cool. Yep. 2. All right. So
And they all go down 1, correct?
they all go down 1. So 1s go to 0, 2s go to 1.
Okay. Thank
Cool.
you very much, Shanker.
Excellent. All right. So let's move to Junker. What's your first item on the docket here?
Well, she has 6 stress, so the first thing she's going to do is go to indulge her vice at the Silver Stag Casino.
Nice. What's the game of choice? I forget. What's it called?
Game of choice.
Yep.
I think she'll probably play cards right now.
Nice. Right. Cool. Go ahead and indulge your vice. Cool. All right. Have 6 stress, and you've cleared 3 of it.
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So let's continue round robin. Unless you're going to spend any extra coin to do an extra one, then we can just handle that right now.
No.
All right. Cool. All right. Let's see. Fish, you're up. What's your first downtime action?
Well, first I have a question. Trauma says that I have 0. I arrive back with 0 stress,
Correct.
and your vice has been satisfied for the next downtime. So does that count as one of my downtime
No.
activities?
No,
Oh,
it's just
okay.
been satisfied.
All right. I think I wanted. Let's see. I've got this healing clock.
Yep. If you do one more, you're guaranteed to clear it. So yeah.
Okay. So do I need to roll the die for
It's
that?
there's no real failure, and the lowest you can go is 1, so that'll fill your clock already and clear everything.
Okay.
So all right, we'll call it that. So
right.
is Sharktooth basically, or Sawtooth, helping everybody out? They're good with that?
Yeah.
Breaker? That's your friend.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
All right, I'll remove it for you since I'm here anyway. All right. You are fully healed.
All right.
Nice. All
Not
right.
mentally though.
Not mentally. You'll never be fully mentally healed. But who is? Cool. All right. Breaker. Breaker. 9.
Oh. I guess we can do that. We can focus on that later. For down, I think I'll do some healing of my own.
Okay. Sounds good. And you have a friend, so do your roll your 2 fortune die or your whatever. And
He makes
away
house
we
calls.
go. He does now. All right. 2 segments. Cool. All right. Did you want to spend any extra coin to do an extra or anything?
Well, I mean, I can do that. Well, I'm still thinking about what to do with my second action, so
Okay. We'll come
we
back
can do
to
that later. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Let's go back to Peacock.
So I had a general question. So I know I found the cult spirit, but I know I want to develop that into a contact or resource. Now, does that just, you were saying that, it's pretty much like that was done?
Yeah, I mean, you made the effort to make this contact.
Okay.
So if you can do some like just free play stuff where you develop that relationship, that can turn into a contact.
Okay.
I
So
don't.
I'm going to remove that clock off my thing.
Gotcha.
So for my other downtime, I think I wanted to lean into my training again, because I have some eyes on some special abilities to focus on.
Ooh, when you're kind of close.
Yeah, I'm fairly close.
Fairly
But I
close.
should get it at the end of the session.
Cool. Okay, so you're training playbook.
I am training playbook.
All right, awesome. Done. All right, very well. Good job. All right, Junker. What's your second?
Let's see. I'm not entirely sure. I think that at this point I'll probably just do some training too, because I can't think of anything else.
Okay. There's
I'll
also
just put a
there's always a long-term project. If there's something you're looking to do, we can figure something out for you there. Otherwise, training is always a nice go-to.
yeah, I'll just put a point into prowess.
Sounds good. Awesome. All right. How about Fish? What's your second one?
I want to finish the research clock.
Oh, nice.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is this the same thing? There's only one tick left to it.
Yeah. There's only one tick left, and it can't really fail here. So if you're willing to spend your thing, we'll mark it done.
Okay.
All right. So remind me, it's been a while since we actually looked at that one. What was
I
the
was
goal?
trying to remember too. I actually realized there's this notes section here, which I should probably start using. It's trying to find out who my parents were. I was raised in an orphanage, and I was
Oh, that's right.
at the orphanage. I talked to somebody, and then I forget. Did I check? Was I checking records? I don't.
Yeah, you snuck. I remember you. I remember you sneaking in and getting the records. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So because I want to at least believe that one of my parents, at least, or one of my parents was, and I keep forgetting the name. This other place that's inhabited by demons.
Ekarosion.
That fish.
That's
I want to.
Tychrosin, thank you.
Yeah, I want to believe that I'm at least part demon, which explains my affinity for the depths of the ocean.
Neat. All right. So yeah, let's figure that out. Actually, you know what? Let's hold off. You've solved that, but let's wait for some free play, and we'll kind of look that over then. That's a more appropriate time. Let's get Breaker's last thing out of the way, and we'll get that. We have a couple things to do, especially on the.
All right, I'll indulge my vice as my last thing.
Excellent. Go ahead. Nice. All right. Yeah, you rolled just fine. One more stress left. It looks like.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Nice. All right. Cool. All right. So I think that finishes downtime activities, and we're firmly into free play. So let's do some of that. Fish. Since we're just talking about yours, I didn't want to cut you short before. So yeah, so you kind of did your research. You stuck into the old orphanage looking for old documents and stuff, which you found. And you've been kind of doing other kind of skulking around, etc., etc. I mean, you're whether Fish is ready to admit it or not, he is a scoundrel, and it's hard to keep secrets from scoundrels. Word gets around, especially when when you know where to look. So yeah, so when you basically are tracking kind of your parentage back, okay, so here is the names listed here. If I check out those names at this, you may have snuck by. I think you're the one with the kind of the um, nemesis over at the Hall of Records or something like that. I believe that's you, right, Fish?
Yes.
Yep. So you probably
That's right.
went behind his back. It gave you a little extra glee to kind of you know uh, scour those notes under his very nose. Um, but as far as you can see, it looks like yes, you may have some heritage. Basically Tecrosian heritage. You've seen some records of your father. He is actually alive. Mother is not.
Mm.
And he is right now living in Night Market. So basically, your next step is to talk to him. Meet dear old dad, who you never ever knew.
Oh, wow.
You weren't ready for
Uh,
that. Somebody's got some daddy issues I didn't even know about. Here we are.
yeah, yeah. Wow, gets complicated. I decided for my trauma, I picked haunted.
Mm-hmm.
Often lost in reverie, reliving past horrors. Speaking of unknown daddy issues, and seeing things. Uh, wow.
Cool.
I'm not entirely sure if it's Fish or me. I don't know if I'm ready to hunt down dear old dad just yet. But I don't know if that's Fish or that it's just I'm still myself trying to wrap my head around that.
Sure. Okay, we can basically what you're finding is he the man who's listed as your father, who you researched, who you kind of trace back. They did do some, basically it seems like they did immigrate here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you kind of trace port records, and yes, it's very possible he may have been Tycherosian.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to take a final conversation with him to kind of, put this to rest.
Okay.
So if you want to table that till next session, that's perfectly fine. Get an idea how
Probably
you want to
because
approach it.
I don't want to. Yeah, I do have an idea how I want to approach it, but again, I don't know if I want to spend a lot of time on that right now.
Sure.
Basically, I think uh, I think Fish does not want to talk to this person
Mhm.
yet, but they're really curious in a dark, reliving the past horrors sort of way. And
As most families.
to get those experience points, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I'm gonna basically skulk around some more uh, and not talk to this person, but talk to people who may know something about this person's immigration.
Okay. Well, I mean, basically your research has done all that. So that's what that clock represented, is all that research leading up
Oh,
to getting it. So you've won. You've already
so I've
succeeded.
already done all that.
Yeah, so the very last part of this puzzle is just talking to this
Is
person.
talking to him. Okay, I'm gonna wait.
Okay, cool. That's perfectly fine. Um, let's see here. Let's take care of Peacock real quick, and then I'd like to get to some free play for Junker and Breaker also. Some I'm not sure if so think up if there's anything personal that you'd like to take care of. Now's a great time. So, but let's since both Fish and Peacock completed clocks and have been working on stuff, so let's go and see what you're doing, Peacock. No pressure. You're just on the spot.
And on mute.
So yeah.
I wanted to meet my cultist friend Ava.
Okay.
Ghost friend.
Yep.
What?
Yes.
What is a befitting gift to give a ghost?
Ooh, wow. The ghost who has nothing.
The ghost who has nothing. In other words, do they, can they absorb energy, that sort of thing, or is it a gift of life force even?
My impression is that that is really interesting because it doesn't. I don't think the talk of ghosts and whatnot. It basically says they exist at this as this remnant of the person in the form of ectoplasmic, electricity. But I don't think it sucks life.
Yeah, that's the big thing that ghosts are hunting for.
Is
Yeah,
it?
the more life they suck, the more they become physical. They become less remnant and more real person. They become more real, more physical, and that's why possession is a big deal. Because if they possess
Oh,
someone,
right,
they
right,
can
right,
basically
right.
tear the life force out of them, and it
Okay,
gives
yeah.
them more.
So a
a
ghost
juice.
is a spirit without a body, craving life essence and vengeance on its earthly enemies. So the best gift would be letting her have one of her earthly enemies. Your research could have turned up also what who did it.
Well, I mean,
That type of thing.
I think
The
I
best
knew
of
that it
both
was. I knew where the people were, but I haven't come into contact with any of them.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Although
I
I believe
suppose then
saw
life
them
force,
the
I
last
suppose,
part of my ritual.
or a promise of vengeance would be
Yeah.
nice.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna take a evening trip there.
Okay, right back to that garden.
And when I show up, maybe before she shows up, I'm planting a few flowers near the base of the fountain, an area where they're splashed.
Cool. All right. Yeah, she kind of shows up more or less on cue. She starts. You can see how she again. It's just it's like by what's the word I'm looking for? You've done a thing a bunch of times. Bunch of habit. It's her habit of repeating. So she starts and suddenly stops. She realizes she doesn't have to anymore, and focuses on you. And she's like, "What is your name? You who bear the mark."
Ramiro Brogan. But my crew calls me Peacock.
She kind of tilts her head to one side, looks you up and down. Apt. She kind of she does like a circle around you, and this is kind of unnerving because she is freaking electroplasmic energy.
Right.
She could
Hovering.
fry you. It's kind of like playing with a viper, trained viper. Yeah, it kind of knows you feed it, but whatever, it's still an animal. But yeah, she kind of circles around you and she looks you up and down as she kind of floats around, and she's like, "Oh, let's see, old money lost. Yes,
Very much so. Before I came to Shanas, I was a merchant.
And she's like, "New faith found."
A faith I'm very happy with. That I wish to pursue as far as I can.
How can I help you? You've helped me. It's only fair that I pay my debt.
Like, to show that it isn't just a tit for tat. Knowing that you come here often, I planted some of Shanas's or what was said to be her favorite flower, so you can have some reminder of her.
She kind of looks around and she looks past your flowers, kind of looking around to find. She's like, you'd be wrong, but I can teach you the correct answer.
Like, that's what I seek. I seek knowledge of the inner mysteries.
She's like, what would
I'm willing to pay the price.
She's like, you're not just a worshiper. You're one of those scoundrels, aren't you?
We fight for what we have.
In life, I would have been called what you would have called a whisper. I have things of the soul to teach, but it's not for free. Nothing's ever for free.
As I said, I'm willing to pay the price.
She kind of, her hand goes up and down, just like the tides. No tide goes up without going down. Says, someone did this to me, and I want to eat them. I want to eat them so badly. I want to devour every last bit of their essence. And only then will I find some semblance of peace. But find me this individual, and I will teach you what I know. Some things that died with me. Some things that...
Tell me who, and it will be done.
She'll, I'll say she'll give you some basic clues. This would be like perhaps a investigation, or even this could be a score, even.
Okay.
Depending on how you guys want to do it. So I'll give you some, she'll give you some general details, and we'll kind of figure out how that'll work out. But
okay.
But that's as far as that you can get for now, without doing either a score or doing some kind of other, background research, that kind of thing.
Excellent.
Cool. How about Junker? Is there any free play you'd like to do? Anybody you'd like to see? I know you have, just like everyone else, you have your kind of friends and buddies and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think she'd probably see Veldrin.
Veldrin? Cool.
It's kind of her like druggy burnout engineer friend.
There's another kind?
Yeah.
No? Excellent. So where does Veldrin hang out? Have we met her yet? Or him or her?
Yes, him. I imagine he's in some kind of basement. Just like way down a bunch of stairs. And they live in kind of like a big concrete basement.
Gotcha. Cool. I can imagine, again, this is like some kind of burned out engineer. I can imagine he works with a whole lot of electroplasm, and I can just see, like, when the tide is right, or if it rains right, that there's just a little bit of a puddle on the ground there in his lab, which, deadly, dangerous. He doesn't notice.
Yeah. I think that she's trying to help him get along, and he might be like going off the deep end on a conspiracy theory or something.
Easily enough. So yeah, but you would always generally meet him in his lab, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So let's see. So yeah, and again, I'm sorry if I asked you already. Have we met Veldrin yet, or is this the first time?
Not on screen. She helped me build the shot gloves.
Oh,
or yeah, they helped me build the shot gloves.
Cool. Awesome. So yeah, when you kind of come down to his lab, you shut the door behind you, big, like 4 or 5 locks, that kind of thing. he's kind of busy working, and kind of like a Jedi Master, he senses your presence every time. It's like, doesn't matter how quiet you are or whatnot. He kind of senses that you're there. Ah, and he kind of looks your way at the last second. It's like, Tucker, get over here now. Come here.
Yeah, she'll just come over like carefully. Somebody's typing quite loudly.
Yeah, if whoever's typing, if you can mute, go ahead and do that. But yeah, he's kind of like eyes you for a second. He's like, put your finger here. And that's really something you never ever want to hear from many professions, one of which is an electroplasmic engineer. But there you are.
Yeah, well, she definitely looks at what they're doing before she puts his finger.
It's so it looks like he is making, I don't know, some kind of like handheld scanning device, maybe. If you had to, just kind of looking at the configuration of it, okay, so it looks like it's someone would hold in their hand. It doesn't look like a weapon, or it'd be balanced differently. It looks like it has maybe some dials on it, and it looks like he's trying to solder down basically a lead.
Yeah, so she wanted him to like hold the lead in place.
Yep, he does the soldering. You don't quite smell your own flesh singe as the soldering iron does its job, but he shoos you away before that quite happens.
Yeah, I imagine she has like calluses on her hands anyway.
There's true. So yeah, he's like, did you know that the closer I get to making this, the higher the rent goes here? My landlady must be watching me. I'm convinced of it. I've searched this entire place. She thinks when I finally finish this item and I get to sell it, he specifically says item. He normally would be only too happy to tell you what it is. But you get the feeling that, eyes are watching. Don't want to say what it is. He's like, she thinks that once I sell this, I'll be able to pay so much more in rent. And so she's already upped it twice this week. It's disgusting. And he kind of like moves over towards you. He's like, I've been taking longer. It's actually already done. This isn't even it. I already finished it. It's a duplicate. This is nothing. He's like, if you wanna use this to test a battery, here, it's yours. I'll give it to you. And this is very, very important work here. And he kind of moves it around to show the cameras, etc., etc.
Aren't you squatting? I mean,
that is neither here nor there. People must be paid. Don't you know how this works? You can't just stay somewhere. People find you. People talk to you. I hate when people talk to me.
yes, well, I don't much believe in landlords, but I guess you got to pay off the local bosses.
And they're watching. They're always watching. They're watching you. They're watching me. What did you make last? Someone
Well,
watching you?
I think we made some quite good stuff last time I was here. Do you remember the prototype we was working on?
Oh, the prototype for the landlord watcher and eavesdropper. Yes, we absolutely finished that, and that was wonderful. Make
Well,
many of them.
well, I did bring you some food. She like takes out like a leather satchel and like takes out some groceries and sets them off on like a clean table.
Sure. Yeah, and probably the reason you do that is because he forgets to eat. Like when he's in the middle of something, when in zone, don't bother, stop, don't talk, in zone. That's pretty much him for days on end. So yeah, so it's kind of like you break him out of his reverie, and oh, that's right, I need fuel just like my devices need fuel. And he immediately kind of breaks open whatever you have, and he's hungry, offers some to you. Like, won't you join me for dinner?
Yeah, of course.
I don't get guests. I said I don't get guests. She charges me extra for people staying over.
Mm,
And he's like, my rat traps are all full too, if you're interested. Little something for your something.
rat traps. Well, depends on what you.
It's quality meat right there.
Actually, it is.
Yeah, like no joke. It's food. The delicacies are not for the likes of us. And delicacies being standard food.
Yeah, he kind of brings you over and he shows you there are these like pipes that specifically run under the city and are made just for this. You basically put a little something in, a little, mushroom in and close it up and maybe you get a rat and then you get to eat the rat. And this is specifically what they're there for food harvesting. So yeah, so he's like he kind of brings out a couple rats by the tail. They're actually decently well fed. You don't know what in the hell does he feed them for a while before he, executes them? Are they experiments? Do you really want to eat those? I don't know. But he basically wraps them up in some paper for you, some of the paper that you brought for him. Kind of like a butcher paper, and very expertly wraps it up. So it's like one of those things where it's like nice and tight, and you furl that end under the end, and it seals itself, kind of sort of. Like
Yeah.
there you go. You're a wonder. You know that, right? I would have starved days ago without you.
Yes, well, that's why I'm bringing you food.
Yes, well, bless your little Severosi heart. Keep eating ghosts or whatever it is you people do. Now go. Work to do. Call me when you need me.
Yeah.
I'll be there. Promise.
All
I
right.
promise no one will be here. I may be leaving for a short time, but I will return.
Yes, try not to die in your sleep.
He actually oh, I'll write that down. And he does. Excellent. Great. Let's see. So cool, very cool. I'm glad we introduced Feldrin.
I desperately want the proper packaging of rat to include wrapping it tight but leaving the rat tail hanging out of the package.
Oh, that's a classic. It's a classic, high class move there. That's like that kind of tells you, oh yeah, this is a real rat and this is quality. If
Well, yeah,
if the
you
rat
gotta
tail looks shriveled.
It
What was
also
that?
gives you a way to hang up the package.
tie 5 of them together, put them on a hook.
Yeah.
Foodie culture. All right, Breaker. Any free play for you? Anything you wanted to visit?
Yeah. I'll be. This is where I'm going to be integrating my new skill. So after the recent acquisition of new turf and our upgrade, we got a lot of new faces coming into the gang. Since all of our cohorts went from just 1 or 2 people to like 5 or 6 people.
Sure.
And Breakers decided that it's time to begin the plan he's been percolating for a while. It's time to start and to begin his order, or at least start putting down the bedrocks.
Okay.
So he's going to be
What does that
calling
involve?
together all of the thugs.
Excellent.
His order, what does that mean?
Basically, he's planning to turn our cohort of thugs into essentially a church militant order, like the militant like far down the road when we
Yeah.
rise in power, because he's a true believer. He wants to basically become like the head of the militant arm of the church. If
Okay.
someone threatens us and needs to be dealt with through overwhelming force,
Mhm.
he's the one that arranges it and brings it in.
Cool. All right. What does that look like? So yeah, the cohorts are, they gather up at at command of really anybody in the crew. But yeah, they kind of gather. Are they gathering at your new sanctuary?
Yeah. You know what? Yes, they are.
All right,
That
cool.
works perfectly.
Cool. Now you guys are probably already decorated it with Shnas insignia and stuff like that. But
I mean, after we mopped it down, yeah.
after you mop it down, spray it off, yeah. Cool. All right, yeah. So tell me what that looks like. What does your talk to them look like?
So I'm bringing in I bring the thugs specifically over there. They're probably arranged like just in like a loose group. They believe, but they've only just started um learning the deeper secrets.
Sure.
And they're also just a bunch of killers and thugs and whatnot, ex-soldiers. They're a ragtag band of misfits that just haven't been working. The only difference between us and them is we have more experience working together. Well, I'm glad you all arrived. We have a lot of work to do to further our goddesses. Right now, you're the sorriest sack of shit I've ever seen. Bunch of cutthroats, murderers, roustabouts. You know
Thieves,
your way of.
thieves. One guy raises his hand. Thieves.
I just look at him. I give him the breaker look. Just
The breaker look. Trademark.
Trademark. TM. You have only met. Some of you may have worked together in the past. Others, you're all new faces. This needs to change. The crew is expanding. We are more than we were, and we will continue to improve and expand. And we need a core of loyal and talented fighters to back us up in our operations. You can't just be a gang. We need a company. We need a unit. We need soldiers. And I am going to make sure each and every one of you becomes what we need. I will break you all down, and I will reforge you into a weapon worthy of the goddess. Let's get to work. We have a lot of it ahead of us.
It'll be powerful as a great typhoon.
They will if I have anything to say about it.
Cool. Sorry,
And
what does training look like?
Training montage.
Training montage. This
Montage.
is training montage. It's time for a montage. Training. It's grueling. Most primarily traversing the canals, constant physical exertion, running, jumping, sparring against me. I'm not trying to permanently injure them, but I'm not exactly pulling my punches either. The intent of the training is not only is to break them down and then build them back up.
Okay.
Make sure they move as a unit, they lose their bad habits and gain good ones.
Okay. So that's the overall plan. For this point, why don't you let's roll it? Make a roll. What action are you using to do all this?
This is my RP reasoning for the leader ability
Sure.
that I purchased.
Yeah. But just to kind of gauge their
command would
processes.
be my command would be the skill I'm using for the process.
Gotcha.
Through force, I'm through force of will and also plenty of curses and insults and threats.
Gotcha.
As any good drill sergeant.
Sure. All right. So, leader, when you command a cohort in combat, they continue to fight when they would otherwise break. They're not taken out when they suffer 3 harm. They gain +1 effect and 1 armor. So very nice. So so to kind of kick off this series, if you will. This is just step one of their training montage, if you will. Give me if command's what you're using, go ahead and let's do a command roll
Sure.
and see how I do. Again, this really can't go like wrong for you, so just make it a fortune roll. So 2 command, and let's see what they think of their quote unquote leader.
+1 because we're doing this in the sanctuary.
Yep, that does give you +1
Ah.
command while in your area.
Exactly.
Oh, 4.
Thank goodness for that sanctuary. Whew.
Well, yeah. So yeah, things go pretty well. I mean, you still have that one. There's this freaking smart ass. He's like, I'm going to build up this. I'm going to create a team of hardcore soldiers and killers. He's like, well, where are you going to find those?
Yeah, we could make an example of him for the. Well, we do have to make an example of some for the gang trouble. You can do
There is that. If you want to take care of that, we'll call it even. You'll have to be RP beating this guy down pretty badly. Do it. You know you want
why
to.
not?
All right, what are you
It's
gonna
time
do to
instill
smartass?
some well, no, that would actually fit because they said they were screwing around. So maybe he was mouthing off and got into a fight with someone he shouldn't. That would fit his lack of discipline.
Sure.
So
Works
it's
for me.
time to instill some discipline.
What does that look like when Breaker instills discipline, graphically speaking?
Well, he calls a halt. This will be probably about midway through the day's training. So they're tired, but they're still going. He It has come to my attention that one of you has shown a shocking lack of discipline, not just here with me during this training, but outside with other factions. Actions that reflect poorly on the cult. This cannot be allowed. He walks up to the smart aleck, who is also the one who um caused the issue.
Mhm.
And I think you will submit yourself to your punishment, so that your sins may be washed away with the tide. He's intimidating him with command, and just to open it up.
It's fine. I won't need you to roll anything for that.
Oh, okay. What does smart Alex say to this?
He is now taking his position a little more seriously in that he knows what's coming. He knows what's coming. He's been here before. He's earned it before. There's no avoiding it. And he just kind of looks to everybody else to see if they're gonna jump in on him or something like that as well.
And as he looks around to the others, it's like no one will interfere to help or to hinder. Punishment comes from the top in this unit.
As one last, yeah, no, yeah, he's not. I was gonna say he's gonna try one last thing, but yeah, he's like ready to. He's ready. He's holding.
And with that, he opens up with a smash him, a simple quick jab right into the solar plex. To with him, that obviously he starts gasping. Breaker then grabs him by the shoulder, and then slams probably about 3 quick punches into his stomach. Then I'd say it brings it lets him drop, then brings an elbow down onto the back of his right shoulder. What else? How's he looking? How's he looking at this point?
He's done. He figured out what's going on. he feels the how does that go? He knows what the rock is putting down at this point.
How are the others looking?
They're like, a combination of don't want to be that guy and he kind of had it coming.
Excellent. Correct. I think that will suffice this time. Do not do this again, or the punishment will be
Cut out there.
training will now continue.
Cool. All right. Awesome.
And he is not exempt from that training. That's the other half of the punishment. Oh! This is hard training when you're not beaten half to unconsciousness.
Gotcha.
Something for him to learn.
Fair enough. All right.
Scott, this is just like in your book.
Oh, which one?
The Navy basic training.
Oh, yes. Good times were had by all. No, not really though. It was horrible. It sucked. Anybody who tells you they enjoyed basic training lies, or they're insane.
No.
Yes. Good point. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, let's turn around and kind of keep the continuum going. Unless there's anyone else wants to do something with free play, we're gonna move forward and kind of scope out a score. How about that?
Yep.
Cool. So, first I wanted to, as I kind of mentioned before, if Peacock is looking to kind of turn his research into a score, that's something doable. If not, we can definitely look somewhere else. But I just want to give you that option. I'll put that out there.
I'm gonna let something else go first and then figure that out.
Cool. Let's see here. So you still have the offer from the crows. That's still on the table. Clear out some ghosts. Let's see. So that's again, that's not a done deal. Otherwise, let's see here. All right. So let's kind of look at my opportunities. So we just got some turf, so that's awesome. Let's see. So you get word from, let's see, I wonder who it would be. Who has like contacts who are more, either kind of have connections to the dock or kind of like the city itself.
It's kind of everything, isn't it? The dock and the city.
Like, would have inside knowledge of the dock, or like the city in in terms of like kind of like your nemesis, I suppose, like the records portion of the show. People are keeping records or that kind of thing.
Sure.
Who does anyone have such a contact? Otherwise, we'll dream one up potentially.
Let's see.
If not, that's why we have add-ups.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, fair enough. Cool. So let's say you guys are kind of, Breaker gets back from his montage training. He himself has barely broken a sweat, though there's blood on him. Nobody really asks where from. You guys are at the secret lair, doing your thing, probably, eating likely. I would imagine at least at times you take meals as a group. The adepts generally tend to be your all-around servants. They aren't constantly researching something for you, and they kind of just wait on you. You're kind of like superheroes to them. They're just these little, researchers of Shanaas, and you're like the fists of Shanaas. But yeah, so you're probably eating. They're preparing. They're cleaning up. Things are clinking, and then they go into one of their trances. One of them actually drops a plate and it shatters on the ground, and everyone likely looks over to see what's going on, and you see that look in his eyes, and then you see the look in her eyes as she stands next to him, and you hear the kind of two section voice going on, and it basically goes to something to the effect of, "There is a ship in harbor. No one left alive. But we know what's on there. It is yet another artifact of Shanath brought in by the tides for you to find." And it's basically they kind of look at each other as almost as if there's this focus going on. But again, they're kind of in this trance state as they're getting the messages and transferring them. Is, "We need to find out who took it. It's been taken. It's been taken. The artifact is gone. The people are gone. We need answers."
It's gone from the ship.
The one of the adepts kind of like not their own hands, but like looks for like paper and quill, pen, whatever, and starts kind of writing. And you basically see what looks like pardon me. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's just a little cough. You see what looks like a kind of a map being drawn. You see what's definitely like a larger ship, probably some kind of. It looks large to you. It's probably like a smaller Leviathan hunter. And you see like a picture of a man. The next picture is like they draw this picture of this man with a bundle, and the man is pretty well drawn. Looks like a very thin, gaunt-looking man, a beard, a dark beard, kind of full black hair with what looks like a white crop going through it. And it's almost like they're kind of like doing this really freaky like on as we go animation, you know. Um, the thing goes from that scene to walking down the street, and you can actually, again, it's almost like it's like showing you a camera view, if you will. Goes down this one street, turns down this alleyway, and next thing you know, um, basically he is the character here is at some kind of vice den, and that's when you see kind of the kind of the animation goes from seeing the guy sit down, seeing like his eyes get wide, and then the others at the area kind of swarm around him. So, but you can kind of you guys having a knowledge of the area can kind of recognize what's where, and it looks to you guys like it's probably somewhere around night market. There's some like smaller docks there for the smaller, you know, Leviathan vessels and that kind of thing. And it's right next to the rail station for easy shipment, that kind of thing. So here you have potential for a lot of potential here, depending on which way you would want to go with something like this. Otherwise, you have the crows thing. Otherwise, you also have the basically hunting down the murderer of the
Right.
elder cultist.
Which I haven't really let on because I'm kind of keeping that to myself.
Mm-hmm. There's
like if this is a gift of Shanas, then I say we go for it. We find out who has stolen it and give them justice.
And all was silent.
Yes.
What say you?
Oh, I was just looking up night market, see what kind of place it is.
Well, we do still need to recover. How many did I say there were? 1 or 2 pieces left?
2 pieces.
2 pieces left.
Assuming this is a piece of bad, but
Assuming.
Yeah.
could be.
Well,
Just
this
cannot-
may be one of the 2 remaining pieces that we need to recover for our other artifact.
Breaker.
Even if it is not, we cannot let the loss of an artifact of Shanas go unanswered. We must find and reacquire it, and find the crew if we can.
Are you good with this, Fish?
Good with what?
Going after this artifact.
Sure.
Right.
That fits.
Fish
like
is just
that.
here to hang. He needs to be in the game. That's all that matters. So here we are. Awesome.
That fits with the trauma. I like that. Huh?
That's
What?
right.
Oh, I noticed that. So I like that.
Awesome. All right. So that's what we're looking at then.
I think so.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's figure out. Like I said, we can do up to 2 gain information type of activities. Otherwise, go straight into it or whatever you guys would like. It's up to you.
Mm.
I mean, I'm always good to do the, hobnob around and find stuff.
Sure.
Because night market's one of my haunts too for my vice, just because they have the best tailors, haberdashers.
Excellent. Cool. Let's see. All right. So, assuming we want to do one of those.
Did we get an idea of what the vice den was?
No, not at least not from the drawings. There's a lot of smoke going around there, but that could still be
Anything.
anything. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So if you guys are good with that, why don't you pair up?
Yeah. Anyone want to come with or?
Yeah, I had an idea too. Since I did the research on the 2 artifacts we have, could I maybe like try to jury rig something with Tinker to let me try to track the signature of the artifact through the ghost field?
Like a divining rod?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Using the present 2 artifacts is like part of the equation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that would be interesting. I would never say no to interesting. So yeah, if it would be dangerous, incredibly dangerous.
Using a tune to find them.
Yeah.
Or even Tinker to find them.
Yeah, well, I'm better at Tinker, so that's what I suggested.
Gotcha. All right. So we have potentially 2 different things going on here. Is everyone okay with those 2? Do you guys want, again, best if you guys can pair up. I don't want anybody to be left out if we can avoid it.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to assist either one of those, or do you have your own ideas? Maybe those
if
are,
you have your own idea, feel free.
if those are better, or have more, we can get more traction off of the others. Feel free to throw stuff out. I'm down. I would like to hear.
I mean, Fish could even inspect the ship, maybe.
Oh, from all sides, really.
What are your thoughts on that, Fish?
Sure.
I'm just throwing out suggestions.
Sure.
Well, why don't we?
Yeah. I'll take a look. You can count on me.
So I think that'd be kind of interesting, just from a kind of interested to see what kind of what's left on the ship, or what happened to it.
Sure. But like I said, I do want to keep it to 2. So let's can we work 2 of those together? Can we like do Junkers and Fishes like
I
a
think-
tune type stuff together?
I think Junker might work better with mine because she might be able to, or they
Oh,
might be able to
'cause
track
you're-
down the Vice Den,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
I could, then sort of go around and either look for the person or talk to people in the Vice Den and find out who it is.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right.
So let's see. Let's go with that one first, since we kind of now that's very nicely fleshed out. So who, if we're gonna make a find information roll, who is assisting who's assisting who to make it happen, basically?
Say
I think if we want to find out details, it'd be better for Junker to assist Peacock. Because I'm going to kind of need to be there unless we were just looking to find out like really where the artifact is now, in which case, I can assist Junker.
Yeah, kind of maneuver around so she doesn't get pickpocketed as she's
Or
divining.
talk to people and but kind of get some like ancillary
Maybe I can
information.
just try to find people that have like the right signature in the ghost field, and you can go talk to them, and I could assist you.
Okay. Yeah, you can be the assist.
Okay. All right. Cool. As long as you guys are good with that, let's roll some quick dice.
You just take whatever stress from that.
No. This is a fortune type roll. Let's go fortune.
Okay.
I don't see a reason for this to be dangerous quite yet. There's more than enough time for danger.
Wrong skill. And then I'll take the one assist, whatever effect, doesn't matter. 8-6.
Nice. Cool. So I also Junker, tell me what that device looks like. Like when you're kind of cruising around with it, what does it look like? Is it attracting attention?
Let's see. Actually, I think she'll probably use something she used before. She has like this silver powder, and she kind of like blows it out, and it kind of like follows like the patterns of the ghost field. And she has like a little metal antenna like that she has in her pocket. And when she occasionally just kind of like brings it out and kind of like feels where it's pulling and stuff.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I think I remember using something to that effect before, so that's cool. Nice.
Yeah.
So you guys are kind of following through. Again, I imagine Peacock is kind of like clearing the way for you. Oh, excuse me, sir. Oh, what a nice wares you
people's
have.
attention or
Yeah, that kind of thing. So that's not that goes kind of
market stalls.
Yep, that kind of goes unnoticed because like when people get a little suspicious when they think like you're tracking ghosts to them, like oh my god, ghosts are around. That's dangerous. That's bad. So perfect. All right, so you get to this vice den. What is your goal? It looks amazingly like was rendered by the adepts.
What is the vice den?
This looks like a lotus
Is
den.
smoking drugs or what?
Yeah, this is like a lotus den.
Okay.
There are, however, I want to say, oh gosh, I should have looked this up. Let's see here. 1 second, please. Looking for the right group. This will be on the turf of another group. I want to say the Reds. No, it wouldn't be the Red Sashes, would it?
Well, the Red Sashes are involved in the drug trade.
Okay. Well, for the sake of that, let's do that. Since I know you guys have some entanglements with them already. Let's call it Red Sashes. This is a Red Sash den.
I forget, what did we do to them?
They were, I think it was more not what you did to them, but your friend of
that they did to what's his name?
Yes, I gotta find it real quick. Hutchins, yes. It's more what Hutchins did. I think it has to do with the they do one of the things is they get artifacts, that kind of thing.
Oh, right.
And he's kind of like in that type of thing along with you guys.
So not too bad with them, but still.
Not too bad. There's some there. I think you're at a
They
negative
might connect
one.
it to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like
I'll go in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So like you aren't recognized right off. Again, the red sashes aren't like the guys like literally running the place. They pay people to do that. They just protect it and reap the benefits of it, and kind of check on it when the money's light, that kind of thing. So at the moment you're basically looking at like a front room where this is where like the legitimate business goes on, and they happen to be they sell pipes. Again, it's like a head shop of Duskval. Oh, we don't really sell anything actually illegal here. We just sell pipes, and if people will do something with it, that's totally up to them.
I mean, I'll talk to the shopkeeper and say, I would love to have an opportunity to try one of these out if I only knew somewhere where I could get, have a good smoke.
It's like he kind of looks you over. He doesn't look like a blue coat.
Pass him, whatever, a couple silver or whatever the coin of choice is.
Yeah, slugs.
Yeah, a six will get you in the back room. He's like, oh, he kind of checks. Again, doesn't look like a blue coat. Kind of nice clothes. Probably has some money. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yo, we could definitely have you sample a few things back here. And before you know it, you're being whisked into the back, and there's
great.
like small plates of the various stuff, just kind of being paraded before you or on a desk, that type of thing. It's like this. They have a name for everything. I won't even go into it. This is green bog water. It'll definitely take the edge off. It'll give you a little bit of a nightmare, but don't we all need just a little fear in our lives? And then
Right.
then here's sunshine weed.
I'll make a show of looking at the quality of things.
Yeah.
But in reality, I'm looking for the guy there, and that obviously I've been pointed to this location. So
yeah. So that's basically your question. The six gets you that question answered. You can kind of see him through like some slats. Like they have kind of like a door set up. It's been broken down so many times by bluecoats. They haven't even like bothered to totally make it back. So you see like and there's like slats, and like there's spaces between them. They try to put up hangings at this point, since you can't smash in a hanging. But you can kind of see in the back there are about three red sashes kind of giving him the business, like he owes them money. What is this piece of junk? Or and he's like, really? No. You basically, you can all you hear is him saying something about, really, it's powerful, just trust me, it's powerful. And then by the time you see that, they kind of someone kind of looks towards you at the slats and kind of moves a couple extra wall hangings in the way.
Yeah, and I make a show of loading the pipe. Like, I'm just here, to smoke.
Good times. Cool.
Good times.
All right, awesome. Yeah. So
yeah,
that's the extent.
I have the place, and I have the likely people holding the goods, which is just a tier 3 gang.
I think so. Let's see. All right. So how about the other find information?
Tier 2 gang.
Is it? Cool. Not so bad. All right. So what's the other one? What's our plan here, boys?
Well, if we're going to look at the boat, I think I want to look at the bottom of the boat.
Oh yeah, I would expect nothing less of fish. Inspect the whole damn thing. Awesome. Cool. And basically, I'm assuming you'll expect the bottom. You can you're a thief. You basically can pop up the sides, look around is the idea, that kind of thing, depending on how the roll goes. Great Breaker, I forget now. What's your role here, or what's your sister? Is he assisting you, or what's going on here?
Oh,
Or are you like the distraction at the docks to let him slip into where he needs to slip into?
could be. Oh, but would that be a? Sure, I'll be. Yeah, I'll play the part of. Yeah, I'll play the part. I'll be the distraction. I'll use command. I'll be playing the part of like an angry dock worker who this is where I'm supposed to be. What do you mean I'm not supposed to be here? Just like being big and angry enough to like just enough to make him like call over and keep an eye out, but not enough to cause like threading that needle.
Sure, cool. All right, so that leaves Fish. So you have your distraction. Well done. Anyone at the dock is now pretty much not looking in your direction, so you get an extra die. What are you looking to? How are you looking to do this? What's the action you're looking to take to kind of do this inspection?
I'm going to dive into the water off the dock. Excuse me. I'm wondering, where is this ship? I'm assuming it arrived without a crew, so it just kind of drifted in on the tide.
It may have drifted on the tide, but it was kind of towed in at some point.
Okay, is it at a dock now?
Yes. Yep. In fact,
Okay.
it's at one of the docks right there at Night Market.
All right. Is it under guard in any way because it arrived mysteriously?
There's nothing to guard as far as anyone's concerned, but I mean, again, this is kind of your fact finding mission. But you have your distraction at the dock itself to kind of help you carry on.
Okay.
But these are questions you can ask once you roll. That's going to cost you a roll to find out some information.
Ah, I see. All right.
So what action are you using to do all this? Is the main question here.
Oh, okay. To answer these questions I just asked about the boat, I think probably survey.
Cool. Okay, so you kind of that definitely fits here. That's kind of what you're doing, looking throughout the whole thing. All right, go ahead. Let's you get an extra die. This is just a fortune roll. Actually, you know what? Let's make this an actual roll. You're kind of getting close here.
Okay, so I click survey to roll.
Yeah,
right?
click survey to roll. We'll make it risky standard, and then you get one bonus die for Neocree's excellent distraction on the dock side.
All right.
All right. Jeez, luckiest freaking skulks that's ever skulked the skulk.
It doesn't always work.
It doesn't always work that way.
Except last game.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Excellent. All right. So the 6 gets you a couple of questions. So why don't you, you're kind of, again, my impression of what you're doing is you kind of like quietly slinking into the water. You're kind of, going underwater, inspecting it underneath. You're kind of climbing up the side. You're looking inside the hull, and kind of taking a look around. So, is that sound like what you're doing?
A little bit. Oops, sorry. It's 8:30.
Yes, we're so close. I just want to get this. I want to get your
I-
questions done, and we can do our break.
I have an alarm set for 8:30 to remind me to take my, and it plays the Japanese theme song to Kiki's Delivery Service, and I don't want you to get tagged for improper music.
Thanks. All right. Okay. So questions or what? Describe what you're doing. Ask your questions, and we'll hit the break.
Okay. what I guess the way I see this, and this may be getting a little too involved in the story, is that everybody thinks I'm going to be like skulking around the ship trying to figure out what's going on. Instead, I look over the side, think I see something, and dive into the water. And there's something, I think I see something lurking along the keel of the ship.
So that's kind of not what this is about, unfortunately.
Okay.
I get what you're going. So this is
Yeah.
basically what we're doing here is finding out information. So it's for me to give you information.
Okay.
So this is your time to ask me questions about what you find while you're surveying. That will then add to hopefully to the score. You know, the score's outcome, get an idea what's going on better.
Yeah.
That's what this is for, basically. I like I hate to stunt your creativity, but there's nothing at the keel. I'm here to tell you there's nothing at the keel. But this is specifically to get answers to
But
questions
that
you guys
doesn't
made.
stop fish from thinking they see something at the keel.
That's acceptable.
Uh, okay, fish. Fish's attitude for examining the ship kind of amounts to whatever. They're not being very observant at this point. So is there anything that really like stands out kind of obviously?
Sure. You do see when you kind of like or you're kind of cruising below decks, where the place where a bunch of the people would have met for like food, the mess hall type of area that is several function room basically. You know, you can also see places where they're hanging, you know, hammocks for sleeping. This is where they eat. You can see, you know, where that might be used to like, you know, do like medical type stuff, you know, perhaps while the other two are actually still happening. But you do see in the center of that floor uh, a carved symbol that looks incredibly, remarkably, suspiciously similar to the one that you have branded on you, and it's about I would say maybe 2 meters in diameter, and it's basically prominent in the very center of that room.
How I don't know if I just missed it. How is the mark? How is it put there? Is it
It was
painted?
carved. It was carved
It
with
was carved
something
into the
sharp.
floor.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Fish says. I'm going to look at the bottom of the boat.
Gotcha. Okay, so if your second question is there anything going on with the outside of the boat? I will say
Yeah.
the only thing that is of note that you Fish, as you know, someone who is around boats, maybe not boats this large, certainly, you know, more like gondolas, maybe like those, you know, towboat, you know, tug type boats. It looks like the rudder was at some point fixed. You can kind of see where, you know, there's like this line that leads up from like the rear rudder, where, you know, normally it would be like, you know, connected to the wheel so that the rudder can turn left and right and, you know, turn the ship. At some point someone knotted this up on purpose so that it would basically just run a true course and not have to be manned. So those are the two things you find. So let's take our break and come back and figure out this score. And otherwise, unless anyone needs to do anything right now, I will see you in 10.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
See
See
you
you
in
guys.
10.
See you guys in 10, guys.
Yep.
And we're back. Yay. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. All right. So yeah, we figured out some information about what's going on, and now we have to figure out what kind of score we're looking at here. What kind of approach?
Yeah, so I let everyone know that we tracked the scoundrel down to the Lotus Den, and he appeared to be paying off debts with the red sashes with our artifact. So unfortunately, we might need to take it back from them.
Okay, so do we know where the artifact is?
I think you saw it permission in the guy's lap, basically, as he's being, kind of not worked over, but, gruffly talked to by the red sashes. Well, you saw at least what the bundle that you saw from the illustrations, at least. I shouldn't say you saw the actual thing.
All right.
So the question is, how do you want to do it? Is this an assault? Doing violence to a target? Deception? What? We're tier 1.
Well, what tier is the red sashes?
They are tier 2.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I thought they were.
Which isn't horrible.
Interesting.
Except aren't they also swordsmen? Or swordswomen?
Like some of the best swordsmen, some of the best, like all like master swordsmen and whatnot. Like they're small group, but all well trained.
So an assault it is. Okay, continue.
Yes, assault. This will be fine. Totally not prepared and strong against such a thing.
We have a cohort. Come on.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah, these guys have had like a day of training, so
They should be good.
It was a serious
Masters
montage.
of their craft.
Yeah, it was a serious montage. What's those crappy little 80s montages?
Exactly.
This is a Duskval montage, man.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you think? We can, let's see. Okay, so again, assault, do violence to target, deception, lure, trick, or manipulate, stealth, trespass unseen, occult, engage a supernatural power, social, negotiate, bargain, or persuade, or transport, carry cargo or people through danger. Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Strangely, that's the first time I think we've even come close to having a viable transport option here. So that's kind of cool. Good job, Scott. If you want to count getting him out of there or something like that.
I was going to say, would that be basically, like a snatch and grab?
Pretty much.
And then trying to get out of, red sash territory with it?
That is carrying cargo or people through danger.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
you're saying
interesting.
like
First time that's an option.
Like we white van him, like
Like
when a van drives up and you grab somebody, you pull them in.
Oh, we know what a white van is. They have the best candy.
A white van, a white goat with
A
a
white
carriage.
It kills me that Cassie has to explain to us what a white van snatch is. That hurts. That hurts a little bit, I have to say. Do I look like I don't know what a white van snatch is? That's hurtful.
That's what Scott drives every day.
Great mileage.
About this artifact, I have the impression Fish is trying to actually think this stuff right now. There's something powerful about this on a level that we haven't seen before. I mean, it sent this ship, to our harbor, to us. An entire crew has disappeared, leaving an obvious sign behind that our deity was sending this here. and I guess that's all I've got. This is an artifact above the two we've had already. Way above, it seems like to me.
Yeah. I think doing like a snatch would probably like a transport type would be good.
The question is does it want us to have it?
Well, the adepts said that we were the chosen.
There you go.
And that someone took it from basically us, you know, because it was supposed to be for us.
Ah.
So it's a detail, but it.
We were meant to find it on the ship, and now it's not there.
Right.
Neat. All right. So let's look over what we're looking at here. So are we actually looking at the transport? Is that what we're thinking of this time? I just put it out there because again, this is the closest we've come, I think, to having like a viable. This might actually be a real plan. I don't know.
Well, and it is fun to mix it up.
Absolutely.
Try something different.
I'd be willing to go for it.
Yeah.
I think we might have to do a couple more flashbacks than normal,
but good times were had by all in the flashback. All right. So are we agreed to try the transport then?
I say that should be good.
Sure.
Okay. So the question is, are we? I suppose will it come down to transporting the guy and the artifact? Is it important to know what he knows, or are you just going to snatch and grab the artifact, and the Red Sashes are going to want that back because that was their payment for something that you have no idea?
I don't think the goddess sent us a guy. The goddess sent us a back.
Well, I was thinking that we would just find him when he was walking from one A to B, and we just snatch him and take him somewhere.
Well,
so
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I think for the details, Scott wanted Peacock votes to take the guy because he deserves to be punished for taking our artifact.
Yeah.
Now, as I do want to note, I maybe hadn't made it very obvious. It's like he is not going anywhere soon, basically. So there won't unless you're willing to wait a while. There won't be a snatch on the street, so to speak. You'll basically the snatch will happen at in the den, and then get the hell out of there, basically. And then this will become like a police chase almost, but not with police.
Hopefully not the police.
Yeah, hopefully not the police. We should say that. That's an important note for that one.
But let's not Jackie Chan it too much like we did the last time.
What are you trying to say?
It did remind me of one of the scenes where he's
perfectly.
in some I don't know, like wind tunnel chamber or something. I thought I remember something like that in one of his movies.
Well, his whole style is like making the best out of things going wrong constantly.
Right.
That's my life.
He did have that.
I think it's the life of being a fictional character.
Yeah.
Do we need to look at the map to determine the route?
Just an ish, like for example, I think what it's looking for is like where are you trying to take him over? Is this going to be like, are you going to steal a gondola? Are you going to be cruising down the, are you going to need streets where you can take that goat and cart with that fucking goat hopped up on amphetamines, blazing through the streets? Are we gonna have to go? Are we have to make it out of Night Market to Coalbridge? Are we heading to Charter Hall? Hoping that blue coats pick you up, or pick the other guys up, and you get past them, or So basically, the idea is the detail is like what's the means? What's the general idea of what you're trying to get to, and we can go from there. So are you Are you taking them on cart? You taking them on ship or boat rather? Are you trying to get which way are you trying to get out of night market at? We'll kind of leave it at getting out of night market. You succeeded type of thing. So if you can get off the island of night market, so to speak, to either Coleridge or 6 Towers Charter Hall, then that you'll have succeeded in your score basically.
I mean, I
Well,
sort
we
of
got 3 bridges between
Right.
Night Market and 6 Tower.
yeah. That's why I started to vote for like the Charter Hall or 6 Towers route.
Yeah.
I think we just have more options and more places to lose someone. I think the only issue is I think both of those areas are a little bit more middle upper class,
Right.
at least for our kind of folk.
Hmm.
Which means we just might have to like make it look legit at some point.
Well, it could also, it could also protect us to some
Right.
extent. Who are they? The Red what's it? The
Red Sashes.
Sword. Yeah, they probably will realize they can't just ruthlessly pursue us through an upper class neighborhood.
Yeah, but basically the
so-
idea is to get there. Once we've gotten there,
Yeah.
you're good. But how do we get there?
Okay,
Okay.
well, Night Market also has some of that properties too. Isn't it? I mean, Night Market is kind of an upper class area too.
I think more like middle class at most.
Yeah, sir. The description sort of made me think of bourgeoisie.
Is it more? Yeah. Is it more like your artist folk? I forget.
No, that's
That's actually the
that's where we are. Yeah.
Silk Shore.
Right,
It's the
right.
Bohemian district essentially.
Yeah, this sounds like Night Market is kind of it's kind of the upper middle class,
Sure.
the economic upper class rather than the royal upper class.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let's figure this out.
I like the idea of getting a wagon. Just because.
Yeah. You haven't done a wagon getaway before.
We haven't done a wagon getaway before.
Is it
There
a
you go.
wheelman? A
Alright.
rain man?
All right.
All right.
Do we actually want to do something spell wise or drug wise to kind of hop up a goat?
That's definitely doable. Let's see here. So here's let's do it this way. We're gonna leave that kind of thing to flashback. So we've already gotten to the point where
Okay.
that's not
Okay.
part of the equation anymore.
So we're looking for an abduction, a wagon, and then the bridges out of Night Market.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Is that enough of like the detail?
Exactly. That's all we need, and we'll
Okay.
kind of go with that. So all right. So let's go and figure out our loadouts. What do you guys want to use for loadouts? We'll go down the line. Let's start with the breaker.
Oh, skip me for now. I'm still thinking about it.
All right, Fish.
No. I'll follow you. Oh, what you think you do first?
Fish, what's your load?
I'm generally, unless something exceptional is going on, I'm generally go light.
Okay. Again, right now, again, the only difference between light and standard or whatever is that, you can blend into a crowd of peasants, easily, normal folk, and normal is you're obviously a scoundrel looking for some trouble. So that's the only thing to really
Yeah.
kind of think about. So yeah, light is awesome. That's definitely going to help you.
Yeah.
How about Junker?
I'll go normal.
Okay. Peacock?
Light.
Light, excellent. How about back to Breaker?
Dang it.
Go normal.
I mean, might as well. That seems to be the setup. Seems to be the setup here.
Yeah.
Us two are normal and those two are light.
Cool. All right. And again, I think that's, that'll help you as you kind of if it turns out you do have to kind of get past the law or whatever. All right. So let's see here. Let's figure out our engagement roll. Bring this up before I forget. All right, so engagement roll. All right, so one dice for luck. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? I'm willing to say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
This is this is definitely new and bold. All right, so one die. Is it overly complex and contingent on many factors? I don't think so in any way. Does the plans detail explosive vulnerability on the target or hit them where they're weakest? I would say definitely no. They're not strongest against this approach either. We're still at 2 unless you guys see anything else there. Can your friends or contacts provide aid or insight into the operation? Do you have any contacts
I
that
don't
can
know.
do that?
If we're going into Charter Hall, I might be able to call Veldrin because they have like engineer friends, and that's like the college district.
All right, I'm willing to give a 1 on that. Let's go for 1. Let's see. Contacts. Are enemies or rivals interfering? Not at this time. There are other elements. They are definitely higher tier. So we're gonna take you back down to 2. So right now you have 2 dice for your engagement roll.
Yeah, do we get anything for like setup rolls beforehand?
No. Those are gathering information rolls. That's what they were doing. So who hasn't rolled an engagement roll in a while? Everybody should get a shot. Anybody?
It's probably I probably did, but
I can
I
roll the
can-
engagement roll.
go right ahead.
Okay.
See what happens.
All right. 2 die. Cross fingers.
2 die. Ooh!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Finally.
Oh, not this again.
All right.
So it begins.
So it begins. All right. So that means you are in a desperate situation.
Yay, desperate rolls, experience points.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So cool. All right. So I want picture, if you will. Streets are, it's always dark. Some streets here and there are lit, not all of them. It costs money to keep that going. This is not a high class neighborhood where it's always lit. It's always bright. You guys, the camera kind of focuses on this street. It's a quiet street. It's a middle class street. There's workers there, just trying to get some sleep. It's nighttime. Well, again, the sleep time, I should say. Everything's nice and quiet and serene. There's probably a woman outside kind of shaking out a carpet, a rug in her house, kind of beating it. Kids are kind of, wandering around. All of a sudden, everything's broken by this cart goes clacketing through this alleyway and takes a hard turn. If you can just imagine everyone of the crew in the cart. There's the dude who's tied down to the back of where the person sits to steer the cart, like that seat. He's basically tied to it and the artifact's still in his arms. He didn't get him to let it go at this point. And if you could just imagine as the cart takes to 2 wheels, and then as it comes around that turn, it's like screeching. There's like wood on the ground from the thing. It's like the ground is sandpaper wearing this down. It's basically taking a chunk off of it. It comes back to all 4 wheels. If there's a freeze frame where it shows each of your eyes, and it looks like you're all got that picture on the roller coaster. The scariest part where they take your picture, and then that's the picture that everyone sees later. That's that picture. Everything rights itself. One of the wheels is now just worn down to the point where basically you're like, it's threatening to break other wheels. I won't say anyone's taken harm yet, but the cavalry is on the way. You have an equally fast and reckless cart coming around with about pretty much the 3 red sashes you saw before as you were scoping things out. And they are hot on your tail. They seem to have maybe done this before, so they seem a little more ready to go here. I will say the scene I'm going to have you guys start out is basically as this is happening, you guys recover. This is all in the space of 5 seconds. This one scene here, their cart kind of comes alongside yours, and one of the 3 jumps, where another guy is trying to drive the thing, and the other guy has his gun out and he's pointing it towards you guys. So let's see here. So I'm gonna have this is a desperate time here. Who's driving? Let's ask that.
Let's see.
Not me. That'd be finesse. I am not finesse.
What hand do you touch the doorknob with? Who is driving? Who's driving this thing?
Fish is not driving.
It's not a fish thing. All right, wait, it's not a fish thing. It's not a breaker thing. Is it a junker or a peacock thing?
It could be a peacock thing. I mean, maybe like when he was a kid, he may have had to, manage a cart once or twice.
Right.
And he's like maybe the most experienced of all of us.
Does anybody actually have finesse?
I do.
Okay.
All right.
I've one measly dot, but that's what I mean. It's like maybe that was like part of, this is you're gonna be your first, merchant caravan. You have to ride you have to drive the cart for the next hour, and this is my experience.
All right. So we're gonna start off there. Let's start off. So basically, there are several things happening at once, and the how your roll turns out is going to decide what happens. So here's a desperate. You're driving the cart roll. What's the action you're using?
I think it's finesse.
Okay, so go ahead and I'm going to say it's desperate limited.
Desperate limited.
Yeah.
Excellent. I think I'm going to push myself.
Okay.
Because those guys with the big pointy, metal things, and the one pointing the, little tubular thing at me is definitely not good.
It's very not good.
Very not good.
All right, excellent. Let's see. So you're pushing yourself. Is there any assist? Anybody can assist? I want to distract the other guy. Throw something at him off the cart. There was literally apples on the cart, and Junker, somebody's throwing them. Can we get an assist?
I'll take any assist that you'll give me. How about that?
Fish could jump on the goat and try and convince it to go faster.
That's awesome. I love it. Please do.
Goat?
Yeah, on your goat.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh my fucking god, that's awesome. All right. Yeah, I will call that an assist.
I'll take it. Luckily, I got a 4.
A 4. All right. So you're gonna take let's see here. You're gonna get shot. But the other, I'm gonna say the guy won't get on. He's gonna kind of try to make that that Indiana Jones leap from one cart to the other, and you do it just right. You get enough speed where it doesn't happen, but you're gonna get shot. Do you want to resist? I'm gonna say it is desperate. I'm gonna say it's level 2 damage.
I don't think it's wise if I resist it.
Okay, you're gonna take the 2.
I will take the 2 damage and be -1 die.
All right,
that's -1 die to everything, isn't it?
Anything that would affect this, if you're trying to sway somebody, or that kind of thing, there's no reason that this would affect that. But
I'll take it.
It may. I will put up before we commit to that. It will affect the rest of your driving rolls.
I'm trying to think because the issue I have is I have 3 stress left. So if my resist goes poorly,
there's that.
Trauma's all right.
Actually, you can use armor to automatically resist, correct?
Yes.
Then I'm going to use that as part of my light load.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so
I put on some plates underneath my fancy clothes.
Okay, why don't you put like buckshot as your other level 1 damage then? It's gonna actually. No, I'm sorry.
So it downgrades it.
No. For we did agree that it would go to 0 as long as it was your 2/1. So yes, so that will negate it. If it was a 3, yeah, if it was a 3, it would now be a 2 with the resist. But cool. All right. So yeah, you feel the buckshot hit you probably. Ends up not penetrating, but it's like one of those moments where like you saw your life flash before your eyes. Like you could easily have just gotten yourself splattered all over the place.
I feel my chest to make sure it's not wet with blood
or tears. Hopefully tears. Excellent. So yeah, and there's one wild motherfucker on that goat just going into town, and that just urging that sucker forward. Is blazing. I'm not sure what sound does a goat make. I want to make a goat sound, but I don't know. Can someone help me out here?
I don't know.
Whatever it's making, it's like a loud and very upset one, but it's moving like a fucking bat out of hell.
It would actually probably be screaming at that point.
I yell back over my shoulder, "Do something about them!"
All right, so that was our desperate engagement. Very exciting. So this is your first time to really do something. So who wants to do something? Don't be shy. Junker or Breaker, you're probably in the best position to do something. Otherwise, I'm going to go to the red sashes.
Okay, how close is the cart? Did we pull some distance from the car?
You pulled some distance between them, but not like ahead of them. You kind of like you jerked ahead far enough that kind of like it threw them off, but you guys are kind of more or less equal with them still right now. But you do have about 6 feet of distance between you and that other cart right now. But they're trying to move in so that they can do the jump again potentially.
Well, I'm thinking Fish is suddenly feeling his or their inner cow, and has a pistol as part of their loadout.
No shit.
Despite bouncing on the back of this goat, Fish rolls over with the pistol and shoots at the guy who's driving the goat in the other car.
Go, man. All right, that sounds great. Let's see here. Let me bring your stuff up. All right. So what I'm assuming, what are you doing? What's your action that you're using here?
Nice in his pocket. I'm considering this direction. Well, I don't really have a lot of good ones for that way.
Yep. And even if you have 0 dice and something, you can always push yourself or get a devil's bargain and get a die. So still a 50-50 chance with some potential bad.
Let's see, what would be a good that? What is skirmish? With an opponent in close combat. That's sort of, does that gunshot count as close combat?
Gunshot would be hunt as its standard, like the usual one.
If you're in close combat with a gun, you can use skirmish.
Right. If you're like literally like in melee range of them, you could probably do that. But yeah, skirmish probably wouldn't be a good one.
So hunt would be hunt to target, gather information, attack with precision shooting. It's a wild shot, but
or there's also wreck. Wreck is an option here. You're looking to just wreck shit up. If you're not even aiming, you're just gonna shoot blank.
Or obstacle with savage force or carefully applied sabotage, breach defenses. I guess hunt or wreck. I kind of like the what was that carefully applied sabotage is doing.
Okay, well then, in order to use wreck, you just have to apply sabotage. Sorry, so you're aiming for like a part of the cart then, as opposed to the person.
No, I'm shooting at the person.
Okay, so hunt it is. So so let's see here. Do you want to push yourself or get a devil's bargain?
Sorry to remind. Push myself does what?
You'll get 2 stress. Right now you have 0, so you're really ahead of the game. And you'll get 1 extra die to spend. So you basically go from a 0 skill to a 1 skill, which will.
I'm gonna push myself.
All right. Let's see. I can't imagine. I mean, there technically some way someone could assist if they wanted to, but by distracting somebody or something like that. But otherwise, we're looking at a die, which isn't bad. That's still 50-50.
So,
Um,
hmm?
yeah, I can assist.
Okay. How are you gonna assist?
I think she's trying to like find some stuff into her coat, and she like pulls out something, and it's not what she wants, she just throws it at something.
Okay. As long as you're willing to spend one of your load on that, I will let you do that.
Well, what am I load on that?
Yeah. Like if you're literally trying to get some gear or whatever, and just whatever, just toss it out. We're gonna we'll call that a load.
Like use my bandolier.
Okay. Okay, so you're gonna throw something from your bandolier or throw the bandolier? Oh, clear.
From my bandolier.
Okay, so what you gonna throw to assist them? Just for curiosity's sake, just to set the stage here for the flavor of the scene.
I don't know. I mean,
tinkering tools.
Do you have your electroplasm vials? That'll do it. Whatever. One of your
yeah,
some of your dust or whatever. Or...
just like a binding oil or something.
Okay, that's fine. All right, first thing you find, you throw. So just mark the bandolier then on your
Something that
load.
splashes when it breaks would probably freak them out even more because they don't know what it is.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So fish, go ahead and roll hunt, and you're gonna get 2 bonus die, and this will be risky standard.
Risky standard, 2 bonus die.
And actually, risky standard with 2 bonus dice. Basically, you have right now you have 0 die. So adding 2 to that will make it a 2 die roll.
Okay.
Risky standard. All right.
What did I get?
All right. All right. So you basically shoot. And again, this goat is going like a bat out of hell. Even on your best day of aiming, it's like you practice this. This is probably isn't the first time you shot somebody. This is like you or at least aimed at somebody. And as you pulled the trigger, there's no way you could predict how this freaking crazy ass goat was going to bounce. And next thing you know, it goes straight over his shoulder, and down the street it clips somebody. It clips a lady, that lady who is kind of brushing out her rug. So you're going to get a couple extra heat for this one. So and then the guys kind of one of the guys whizzes by. You can actually hear the zzz of a piece of lead going by you, and he like looks directly at you, and it's like, oh really? That look in his face.
But then that vial hits him in the face.
Well, that was helping to distract him. Yes.
Okay.
He's probably wiping that off as we speak.
All
right, Junker. Do you have anything you want to do, or am I making some red sash actions here?
Let's see. I do have something I
A breaker.
want to do. I was trying to decide whether I want to shoot him or throw like something at him. Let's see. Let's just do this. She's gonna take out a flask of fire oil, which is basically like a Molotov cocktail type thing.
Okay.
It bursts into fire on contact with air, so it's like a vial of with it like nitroglycerin or something.
Okay.
And she's just gonna throw that at him.
All right. All right. Let's and it's a small thing, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. Let's call it like risky limited. And then you said are you rolling what? So is this hunt? I'm thinking, or what's your skill you're using to do this? What's the action? I'm sorry, I should ask.
I could do hunt or wreck.
Wreck would fix it's like mayhem. He's tossing Molotov cocktails around.
Yeah. Do you want to? Which one do you want to do?
You can see, but like she's trying to wreck the cart by setting it on fire.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. I'll actually make that then risky standard for wreck. If you're actually aiming to, basically sabotage things here, that's far more likely to be done than like hurting somebody directly. So yeah. So let's go risky standard. And do you want a devil's bargain, or are you gonna push yourself?
I'll push myself.
Okay. Mark your stress.
Do you want anybody want to assist me?
Yeah. Does anyone want to assist in some fashion? Breaker, you're kind of waiting for the thunder.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of just like I'm the melee. This is what happens in D&D when the melee guy can't reach the ranged attackers.
Leap onto their cart.
Yeah, yeah. Why aren't you leaping out of their cart, man?
Uh,
The one that's about to catch on fire, maybe. But yes,
Perfect. It's even more dramatic. I'll assist now. How to assist though?
Let's see. I don't know. If you can come up with assist in a couple seconds, we'll have to go forward without it, though.
I will maybe
no pressure.
Survey the situation so that when like based on the cards, like because we're moving all over the place and weaving in and out, and so I focus on that, and right when it moves to dodge, I basically coordinate the throw.
Oh, so you're go now. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, throw.
All right, that makes sense. Okay, so you're helping to kind of see when when things are coming. Oh, I see we're about to hit that bump. Mm-hmm. So after the bump, throw it, and you're good. Okay, that's logical. All right, so you push yourself, and you got an assist. So 2 bonus die to your wreck.
Your risky standard.
Risky standard. Not bad. Cool. Yeah. So you throw your thing, and go, and boom, vial goes over. It hits like on the back. This thing was like hauling, like it looked like some like fragile stuff. So it was loaded with what do you call it? Straw. So straw is now starting to go up. People are freaking out. There's one guy who's on fire a bit. He's not like hurt, but his uniform is on fire, and right now he's desperately trying to get the rest of the stuff off so that doesn't start the rest of everyone else on fire and make this very bad and die. So he's now out of it for the moment to take care of this. In the process, let's see. What are we gonna do for not a complete success? Any thoughts, Junker? I can't see. I don't think I can give you damage. I don't want to give you heat. I think we covered that one.
Because it's like this one. It's like you do it, but there's complications.
Right. So I'm trying to figure out that as. I'm going to say then that Junker might be just the target of the next several attacks here. So
now you've gained their ire.
Now you've gained their ire. You basically almost set them all the fuck on fire. And there's still a wild ass goat out in front just careening down. You guys take like another corner, and not as acute as the other one, but still pretty terrifying as you guys pretty much get a little air at one point. You're at least 1 or 2 wheels off the ground at one point, back and forth. And
how close are we to one of the bridges?
I'm gonna say you are about like another round of actions until you get there.
Okay.
But you're not there yet. That's assuming that nothing happens here that slows that down. So yeah, the guy who has had the gun out and been looking for the shot. Actually, heard he shot. That's right. I'll say the guy who is was trying to get across does get across, and gets a knife in kind of out, and he's going to be going for Junker. It looks like he
no.
basically hits your guy's cart on one of those turns, and the only thing stopping him from doing it right now is that that basically, yeah, he doesn't have the balance for it. So I'll give inaction before Junker gets it. So who's going to take that action?
Well, somebody
Whoever
dropped
should repel the border.
Do we have a
Whoever
border
should
repeller?
repel the border.
Is there a border repeller then?
Yeah.
Now it's my time to shine.
Yeah.
All right, what are you doing?
It-
Be quick.
So it's time to repel borders. I'd say skirmish.
Yeah, if that's what you want, we can do that.
I'll
Excellent.
be using my find hand weapon.
All right, that'll equal out your tier.
And let's see, I'll push myself. I'll push myself.
Okay, for an extra die. And let's see. So you're trying to repel the borders with skirmish.
Would my enhanced, with my supernatural strength, just as like a massive sweep, like to just like throw them off through sheer force? Would that be a help for like a boost effect?
I mean, like the not to be trifled with. Is that what we're talking about
Yeah.
here?
Because it does affect on more than just the other abilities of it gets cut off. Because it's also a generalized feat of strength, like tackling a horse or breaking a steel weapon with your bare hands, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. So I mean, I would say that would help you if you were like trying to throw the dude back on his own cart. I would let you, enact that.
How about throw him off in behind us
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
what about if, like,
to the
kinda
street?
okay.
yeah.
I would say I wouldn't even worry about if you didn't have not to be trifled with. I wouldn't even care. If you're willing to do a skirmish roll with that as the goal, then yeah, we can do that. I'll give you like an extra bit of effect for that. I think that's
Maybe,
that's
like, try
fair.
to throw him, like, in front of the other cart so it, like, runs over.
Ah,
All right.
yes, I approve of this.
Okay. So
Boost
basically,
effect. You know.
okay. So you're basically doing skirmish. Let's see that it's going to be risky. I'll call it great if it can be pulled off. And you have your one bonus die for your push. Go, do it.
All right, great. And a bonus die.
Well, that's pretty good.
5. Okay, so I mean you succeed. So yeah, I'm gonna say you throw this guy off in such a way that it basically causes the other cart to sway away in such a way that it loses ground. I will say that as the guy you're kind of scrambling with him, he does give you a cut, so you'll take a one harm unless you want to resist it.
I'm going to resist. I'm wearing armor.
Okay, cool. Mark off your armor. Yep. So the basic the knife strike that would have definitely cut you is now basically something you need to repair at some point in the near future.
Yep. Tink.
Cool. All right. So yeah, guys behind. You hear the crunch. Everybody, it's like, you know how when you're in those stressful situations, everything slows down. You can actually hear the crunch as the wheel goes over the guy's body at some point,
Oh.
probably his midsection. There's not much of a rib cage left at this point. And the other guys are now pissed. The one guy basically has gotten all the fire off, subdued. As much of the stuff as he's willing to throw off is gone. Let's see here. I'm gonna say he. Well, let's give someone else a try. So, anyone else have anything they want to do?
Prepare to repel borders.
Anybody? Nobody?
I can try to shoot them if they're. You say they're far away. They're like far away from us now.
Not far away, but they're definitely behind you now. It's going to take them a bit to catch up.
Well, I can just take my rifle from the floor of the cart, lean down on the edge, and like sight it, and try to like shoot their goat.
Shoot their goat. Excellent.
Not the goat.
You know, the taxi drivers are going to be very upset with us.
Yeah. Funny. All right. Yeah, if you have load to take do a rifle, then go for it.
All right.
All right. So here's so basically this will be a risky standard. However, one of the kind of rule sets that I haven't kind of brought in because we really haven't had to yet is you can give up position for effect. So right now you're risky standard with whatever that entails, which is decided by me. However, if you want to instead go desperate, great, you have even better effect, but even better, even worse potential bad things happening.
Yes.
Do you want to give that a try?
Let's see.
What would the bad thing in this case be? Being shocked or?
I can't say until after the roll is
okay.
made. So basically, but the position itself it becomes desperate from risky.
Okay.
So basically, in the right now there's a risky, potentially worst outcome. If you're willing to go desperate worst outcome, I'll give you better outcome effect. Should you succeed? So that's the question. No, you don't have to do that. I just bring it up because this is one of those times when it may be appropriate to do something like that.
All right. I think actually I'm gonna push myself for effect. So to bump it from standard to great.
Okay, and keep it risky risky.
Yeah.
Okay, I will take that. Let's see here. Is anyone available to do an assist at this point? I know you guys are all over, so.
You know, I think I will just by trying to, I look back, see them trying to, take a good shot, just to, keep steady as opposed to veering, trying to avoid their shots.
Oh, since you're driving, I see.
Right.
Gotcha.
Well, you could do like, Mad Max Fury Road and lend your shoulder.
No, I can't lean back that far.
Yeah, I kind of think about we're kind of seeing a little bit of that here. Meanwhile, Fish is still hanging on like a fucking rodeo cowboy up front. Good job, by the way. All right, that sounds like a good assist to me. So, and you say you're going with Hunt?
Yeah.
All right, so Hunt with one assist die, so one extra die, and then risky great. No pressure.
Ooh.
5. Excellent. All right. So so you get off your shot and you kind of bring that sight down. You can kind of feel I have this image in my head that you're sitting in like the seat next to Peacock as he's driving, and you're kind of shoulder to shoulder, and you can kind of feel where he's steering. So when he gets just to the right place, you're like, squeeze the trigger, boom. And that in the movie version of this, we would see the ball kind of zip out of the barrel of the gun, the rifling spinning the ball, and then this poor hardworking unsuspecting goat who's probably been doing this for years now because he had no choice, he needed the money, gets it straight between the eyes, and it just kind of just goes blank and just collapses, like basically straight face to the ground. The whole you see the cart start to slow down, as it's basically losing forward momentum. The goat is face planted in the ground, and its horns are kind of now like actually sparking on the ground as it's going around, and eventually the cart catches up to the momentum and over and flips. As right before, and again, this is all that hyper adrenaline slow motion. The one of the red sashes, as kind of like this is happening, you can kind of see in his eyes, he sees what's coming, and that his own pistol goes out, trigger gets pulled, and Junker gets clipped in the arm, boom, right in the shoulder for 2 harm.
All right. I'll spend my armor to resist that.
Did you already do that, or I
That
thought
was
you?
me.
No, it was Breaker.
Was Breaker?
I
Okay.
used. Yeah, that was me. I used
Okay.
my armor.
Okay, cool. Do you have? Oh, and you do have the load, so good job. All right, awesome. All right. So yeah, so the cart is now demolished. It's gone end over end. It's there's people coming out of their homes. Like this not something like this doesn't happen every day to anybody in any neighborhood, really.
This is over the top craziness.
Yeah. So you guys are cruising down the street.
Content.
Fish kind of gets control of that goat. Kind of probably pats it on the head, gets into the cart as things slow down, and you guys can kind of cruise law-abidingly over the bridge into the charter hall area. And that's where we end the score. So success.
Just like we planned it.
Perfectly. Oh yes, excellent, effortlessly done.
All right. So neat car chase, guys. I like the
Cart? Did you say cart chase?
cart chase. Yes, in this case. Get it? All right. So let's see here. So let's go right into it. I don't want to waste any time. Let's see here. Let's go right into XP. So who would like to start?
I can.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, took one for a desperate action.
Excellent.
I don't believe in this case I addressed a challenge with deception or influence.
You did. Well, you did find
gather
information.
Okay, so one there maybe.
Okay.
Beliefs drives heritage or background. I did getting in with that merchant thing, or into the den, but also part of the drive of actually it's more of the trauma. I'll say not really.
Okay.
And I didn't necessarily struggle with my trauma because we were just presented with this and I just took it.
But you're role playing your trauma out.
Okay.
As part of your obsession. I'm willing to take that if that's what
I'll take the one because that gets me the advance.
Okay. I'm good with that. I feel comfortable with that. How about Junker?
Yeah. You adjust a challenge with technical skill or mayhem. I'm fine with going a 2 with that.
Sure.
And the scene with Veldrin, you express your beliefs, drives heritage or background. The scene with Veldrin is definitely at least 1 for that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad to have met him. That's awesome. Good job.
And I don't think I struggle with vice or traumas.
All right. We'll leave it at that then. Did you mark your 1 XP for? Actually, you didn't do an extra desperate roll, so that's something else. Okay. Cool. All right. So mark your 3?
Yes.
All right. How about Fish?
Well, I think I expressed my beliefs, drives, or lack there. Well, that would go into the other one. And I guess more beliefs in interpreting what I found on the ship.
But by beliefs, is it like that's kind of like your personal beliefs? Are you expressing them in this type sense, or? Well, actually, you know what? You're Are we? Let's see. It was downtime. Are we counting your heritage? You basically looked into your heritage. That was like one of your
Yes.
major downtime things. That's definitely counts for this cycle
All
of
right.
XP.
I guess it was, if you could just clarify, what's the difference between belief in the goddess and personal beliefs? What are we talking about?
Like, so your beliefs, like, that's a good question. Your beliefs drives. I suppose, I suppose it would be. I suppose it would in this case include your religious zeal. So definitely, yeah, I can see that. I'm just concerned I don't want it bleeding over from anything else. But yes, you make a good point.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're expressing your belief in the goddess, yes. If you're showing your knowledge of the goddess, like that's different. That's not a belief or anything.
Well, this is a belief in that in the my interpretation of what I saw, that this was that
Oh,
the
I see.
goddess
Oh, I
had
see.
sent a very powerful
Oh, yeah.
icon to us.
I see what you're saying now. Perfect. Yeah. I agree completely. And then again, I do want to stress you did have your background thing of finding out your heritage.
Mhm.
That's huge.
So would that be
I would
2
go.
points?
I would go
for each
2
of
for
those?
that. Yeah.
Okay. And I certainly was struggling with my vice early on. It took me quite a while to really care or get involved in this.
I mean your trauma, right?
Yeah, my trauma. Sorry, yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna call that 1.
I'd say 1. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, mark him. So that sounds like 3. And did you do anything for your playbook? Yeah, I suppose you didn't do a whole lot of stealthing on this one.
No, not much. No.
Okay. All right.
All
Cool.
right.
So mark down your 3, and let's go to Breaker.
All right. Violence or coercion? That's it. I think between throwing the guy over, making the guy get crushed, and beating on and browbeating the new trainees. 2.
Sure. Sounds good to me.
Police Tribe's heritage background. I think in 1 or 2, because he's going back in. He's coming back. That's why he chose leader, because he's coming back into his military past again, and training them and going that route.
Gotcha. I'd be willing to
So
lean more 1 to that, but if you want to go 2, I understand it also.
I'll do 1.
Okay. And any issues with trauma's vices?
No.
All right, mark them. All right, we're ahead of the curve here. 15 minutes, 16 minutes. Let's see here. Crew advancement. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, so do we advance something on the portion of the deity? Sure. We're basically trying to get an artifact which may or may not be quite strong. Let's go. Are you guys good with 1 on that so far? Or do you want to go 2? What do you guys think? For the cult playbook advancement part of the show.
Well, I'd say we definitely advanced. I think we were also embodying the ferocity in this one. Getting into a cart chasing gun battle with flaming Molotov cocktails.
All right, I'll go 2. That sounds good. Katana challenges above your station. Guess you did tangle with a one higher tier, so that's 3. Bolsters your reputation. Sure, I'm gonna say we'll go 1 on that. And express goals drives inner conflicts. Again, we don't quite know what all those are for you guys yet.
I did look that up. It was and they even says in the description that it's intentionally broad. Basically, the crew acted. It's like the crew acted in a way that makes them special. The different members did their things well, that kind of thing.
All right, let's go 1 on that then. So let's see. So at 2, 3, 4. Well, it's a good haul. So we'll call it 5 XP for this one.
Wait.
Let me just mark this down.
Does that take us? Does that give us a crew
2,
advance?
3, 4.
Yep.
Yes.
Ah,
Takes us to a crew
okay.
advancement. So we'll handle that in Discord time. So just keep that in mind, though.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So crew advancement. Let's see here, and we'll handle the stash and everything next time also with that. I suppose. Let's see here. Crew advances.
Yeah. Well, quickly, everybody gets 3 coins in their stash for the crew advance.
Okay. So
Oh, that's right. Stash tier +2. Yeah.
Okay, since that's an easy enough one, pop it in your stash. So remember, it's not your coin; it's your stash.
3.
Yep.
It's filling up.
Yeah, you guys might have a
It's not your
full.
coin, it's your stash, right?
Yep, it goes in
Yeah.
that stash.
I got 2 coin slots. So what does that mean?
It's in the one below that. The stash slots. They're
So the darker
gray
gray
boxes.
But I have to use a stash for the 3rd coin then, right?
All 3. You get 3 coins into your stash.
Yep.
You can put them in because we advance.
So these aren't spending money. This
No.
is
Okay.
saving money.
This is stash money. Yeah, specifically stash.
All right. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. So let's take. So let's remember we took care of that, and let's see here. And let's see here. I don't want to get into the artifact itself until we're in kind of free play next session, I think.
Okay.
But let's try to get off as much downtime stuff as we can, if that's okay with you guys.
Sure.
All right. So, okay, so I'm going to call this a big score again. So 8 coin to distribute as you like. So 2 coin a piece if you want to go that way.
Yeah, we have a few coin in the crew vault, right? Or in the crew stash, or not crew stash, but the crew's coffer.
We have 3 right now.
Yeah, let's take 2 each.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, give yourself each 2 more coin, and unless it's unless it's above your maximum you have slots for, and then you pretty much have to spend it like right now or right soon. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, we're gonna have to invest in a vault soon, or start spending coins like crazy.
All right, so let's pay off. Again, we'll get into the specifics of the artifact and the dude and whatnot in the next session. Heat. All right, so this was loud and chaotic. I'm gonna say, wow, almost bordering on wild, devastating. But I don't think buildings did not blow up or anything. So I'm gonna keep it to loud and chaotic. So 4, but we did get an extra 2 heat, so that's 6 heat. Let's see. You're not
I'm not taking the fall for this one.
What's that?
I'm not taking the fall.
I'm not taking
the
fall. All right, so it's 6, and then someone died.
I just drove the cart.
I just drove the cart. I was the Rain Man. All right, so 4, 6. That's 8 heat. So let's see where that leaves us.
Yeah, that's
Into
quite bad.
wanted level 1.
Yeah. Okay. 4,
Does it automatically reset, or does it roll over?
I believe it resets. It's because it kind of
Like a
functions like trauma.
Yeah,
essentially.
I think you're right.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So yes, you're now wanted level
Halfway up
1.
the next one.
All right. So let's see here. Okay, so heat. All right. So we're also gonna we'll deal with potential incarceration. The only way to reduce your wanted level is through incarceration. When one of your crew members, friends, contacts, or framed enemy is convicted and incarcerated for crimes associated with your wanted level, it is reduced by 1 and you clear your heat. So we're gonna have to talk next time about, does someone want to take a little penitentiary break? And
Or is there somebody we can frame?
148.
yes, that might be a score on its own.
Yeah.
So that's which is an option here. So, but I want to kind of clear as much as we can tonight, so we're kind of through as much as we can. Yeah. So so entanglements. Let's see here. right now you're at heat 0 technically. We've got by the time I get to the stage you're at heat 0. Let's see here. So you're basically rolling your wanted level. So who wants to roll the entanglement roll this time?
I can roll entanglements.
Okay. And this will just be it's your wanted level, so your wanted level 1. So just roll 1 die.
Let's see here.
Just a fortune roll or whatever.
Where is that? Sorry.
I think the bottom right of any of the sheets. It's sort of like mid right is a fortune roll.
Yep. Right below your contacts and stuff. Ooh, 6. Let's see. Cooperation. What the hell does that mean? Who saw that coming? +3 satisfaction asks you for a favor. If you agree to do it, or forfeit 1 rep per tier of the friendly faction, or lose 1 status with them. You don't have a plus faction 3 status in group. You avoid entanglements for now. So let's see what we have here. Do we have any +3? I don't think we do. We do not. All right. So you've successfully avoided entanglements. Good job. All right. All right. That takes us straight to, well, we have actually 7 minutes left and we're on downtime activities. Do we want to delve into this, guys, or are we going to forget what we did this time?
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do? Do you want to go for it, or we just cut it here and continue downtime at the next session?
Well, Junker is stressed out, so I'm probably just going to indulge my vice probably twice.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, you guys want to give it a shot? Let's go through and get as many.
Yeah, let's go through and turn through them.
Okay, since Junker, since you already know what you're doing, let's do your roll.
What rep did we get for that?
I believe it's 3. You get 2 plus then the 1 for
being better than being not as good as them.
Being not as good as them, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let me put that on there in a sec. Alright, so alright, so 3 rep. Alright, and you have 1 turf now. Yeah, the thing is considered a turf, yeah? I believe it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was that?
Okay, so that's fine. Alright. I was just clarifying about the turf thing. So you only need 1 less rep to make the next tier, if you will.
Yeah.
Alright, so okay. Go ahead, Junker, and make your rolls for your vice. All right. Okay, reduce it by what? Equal to the highest die. Okay, so yeah. So what? 3. Clear 3, and are you gonna do it again? You said.
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
Oh, well,
6.
I
Overindulged.
did.
Uh-oh.
All right, we'll keep that. We'll put a pin in that again. That'll be for some downtime or for some free play next time.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Anybody have 2 that they know about already?
I know I'm definitely reducing vice first as well.
Okay, why don't you go for a peacock?
Yeah, I think that's. Maybe I saw something as I rode by at high speeds that I want to go back for. Indulge vice. No bonus die that I'm aware of.
No. 5. Oh, nice. All right.
I think I'll stop at that for vice.
Excellent. Do you have another one you want to get rid of right away, or another downtime activity, or should we go on to somebody else and hold that?
I think I already have my training. I need to figure it out because I think I'm going to do one a long-term project and I don't know what.
Okay, just if you wouldn't mind, just so because I don't have to go back over the videos and stuff. Just note in Discord you have one more downtime activity.
Okay.
Just so we have a record of it and we're all on the same page. How about Fish? Do you have a downtime activity or two you're interested in doing?
I thought maybe I just do training.
Excellent. All right, what do you want to train?
Let's see. I think prowess.
Okay. And you say you're doing both of them in both training, or were you one training and then one something else?
Okay, can I do playbook advancement also?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So put one in each place. One tick, one for prowess, one for playbook, and you're done.
All right, cool.
Cool. All right, Breaker.
Healing first with Sawtooth. I want to finish that clock if I can.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's make a roll. 1 die. Excellent. All right, I believe that's 1.
I'll pay a coin to boost it.
All right, then let's just finish it off.
Boop.
Boom. Take
my... No more bruised.
Yep, clear it all. Let's clear this. Yeah. Nice, good job. And did you have one more left since you spent the coin?
I will train resolve.
All right, and so you get 2. Excellent. Awesome. All right, that's everybody. Peacock, you have 1 left over. If you know, there's no reason to rush through it here. We can.
Yeah, I think I want to do a long-term project, and I don't know what yet. So
sounds great. Perfect.
You know what? I'll spend another coin to get myself another action, and I'll train my playbook as well.
Sounds good. Spend that coin, as you should. Awesome. Cool. All right, we did a good job. We're even technically 2 minutes freaking early. Wow. You guys are rocking the Casbah this time. So I think I saved time by not introducing anybody because I'm a dickweed. So let's at least say goodbye to everybody. Let's start over here with Neo Cree.
Take care, everyone.
And we have Dr. Oculari. And I always want to show Doctor's banner right there. Very, very cool. We have Cassie Mouse. And last but not least, Steve.
Yep.
Cool. All right, really great session, guys. Again, it was kind of cool to break out into something new, and it felt pretty good. A lot of action, a lot of excitement, and I think we accomplished a lot. So awesome. So there's a lot to kind of hash out next session and kind of see where we're at. We have some potential incarceration or framing to look at. We have that artifact to look at, and I have some other stuff on the horizon for you that, or rather, I should say, your patrons do. So,
yeah, we got a lot of good footage.
Yep, awesome. Yeah, so really great job, guys. Everybody, I felt like everybody got some spotlight again today. You did something. You were part of the chase, etc., etc. So good job, awesome. So I will see you guys as usual. This is Scott of Scott's Case Files. If you're watching on Twitch, go ahead and follow and get notified when I go live. All the other stuff is down below. My Twitters, the Discord, YouTube. This will be posted on YouTube along with all the other stuff, or most of the other stuff. And check me out there. And otherwise, we will see you in a week for the next session, and I'll be around on Sunday and Tuesday for other stuff. I've been kind of slacking on the Tuesdays. I'm trying to figure out what that is, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, everybody have a great night. You did great. Take care. Stay out of trouble. Don't get sick. I need you.
Understood.
Stay safe, everyone.
All right. Bye for now.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right.